So what I have here is, it was a happy planner. I've had it for a couple years, and I have just bought refill pages. And then when I bought the planner, I really was not using it like I should. So there were several months where I didn't touch it at all, or I just put it away. So I actually relabeled some of the monthlies. And you'll see this one has been whited out, and I have rewrote all of the dates in. This is for February next month. So planners are expensive, and I really did not want to invest money until I knew that I was going to use this. So that's why you'll see some of the rings are missing. They were broken, so I spaced them out so it would work. And I may update this as it goes along, but I just did not want to put more money into it when I had neglected it in the past. Also, please excuse the position I'm in. I am actually in bed. I had to go to the emergency room yesterday. Severe sciatic pain. I did not know that I had a sciatic issue, but now I do. So this is get the video up or don't get the video up. So I am trying to make things work. I promise next week it will be better lighting, better setup. You'll be able to see this better. Now, what we're looking at here, this is actually an add-in that I picked up at Michael's. And I bought it while it was 50% off. I think they're actually doing a sale right now. It's usually a great time to buy planner stuff in January because everyone is doing New Year's resolutions and trying to get organized. So what we're looking at is a 6-month budget add-in for the Happy Planner. I know not everyone uses a Happy Planner. So there are other options. This is my January layout. These are video ideas that I have labeled with stickers. These are my 2 paydays that have little dollar bills on them. So I have added in some things here. And then this is on the back of that page. It's a month at a glance. And that's what I'm going to fill in today. I did go ahead and write down all of my bills on the bill pay checklist. There are other add-ins that come with this set. There is an expense tracker, and back here there's like a, and these are all really cute too, these undated monthly things. Like I said, I think it came with 6, but they all have really cute dividers in them. So, but it did come with some other things, and I have added to this as well. This first one says spend well, and I made this like my to-do. So this is where my savings things are. I do have some printables that I found on Pinterest. This is something that I really wanted to do last year and I didn't. It's saving $25 a week, and that would come out to an even $1,300. I did. You see it's dated for October. I wanted to start then. I didn't. This is a printable that I found. I've added a couple things in here because I'm not sure exactly what's going to work out. So I'm going to start with what came in it with the Happy Planner insert. It also came with this where it goes January to December, and you kind of fill up your money saving jar with your savings. And like I said, there are just other things that I have added in here. I will say that this is inspired by Dave Ramsey and the zero-based budget. So if you don't know who Dave Ramsey is, I will put a link down below. Dave Ramsey is a fellow Tennessean. He has went bankrupt twice and came back and is a millionaire. And he is real and kind of raw about how you should be saving and how you get out of debt. So basically what you do is you start at 0. And please don't just take what I say. Follow up with one of his books. If you do not have An Audible account. You can sign up for Audible, get your first 30 days free, do his book first. That way, you know, you get the audiobook for free under that first month. Cancel if you don't want it. If it's not a subscription that you want, cancel it. But at least you get that audiobook free. And, but what you do is you start at all of your bills that you pay monthly, and you pay whatever is due on those. And then, like, loan accounts, like in our case, we have 2 car payments. One is a smaller one that is very close to being paid off. The other one is my car, is a newer car. It is a larger payment. The interest rate is not super low on either of them. We've been working on our credit, but instead of looking at like which one has a lower interest rate, or which one has a higher interest rate rather, and trying to pay that off first, you actually take the smallest account that you have. So anything left over after what you have, you know, what you have budgeted for, all of your bills, you take that and you roll it into your debt snowball, and you attack that lowest account that you have. Say you had a credit card account, it was only $300 balance. You would pay that off first, and then you take that, whatever your minimum payment plus your snowball amount is, and you roll that into the next account. And once that account is paid off, I mean, you just aggressively attack it, and you take that money and roll it into the next account. I don't have a ton of debt, but I know that some people do. Ours is just really getting spending under control, but a budget is something, you know, totally different to everyone and what your current financials look like. Ours right now is to get our 2 cars paid off, and just to get spending under control, because I have nothing to show for what I'm spending. So next goal would be a house. We are probably not going to be able to pay cash for a house, but I would like to have a nice down payment to keep our interest rate lower. So that's our goal. And like I said, please follow up with Dave Ramsey. There are a lot of budgeting videos. Alyssa Budgets, her channel actually may be called Alyssa Nicole now. Whatever it is, I'll link it below. She has great budgeting videos. I think she uploads every week, and it is Dave Ramsey inspired as well. So what I have on the top part of my page are all of the bills that we pay monthly. I have our electric, my car payment, Ricky's car payment. We don't have cable, but we do have Netflix. We do have internet, and it is kind of a pricey fee, I know, compared to what other people pay, but I work from home and I have to have a pretty substantial speed. So I do the higher package that's offered in our area because I do have to have that for work. I pay $5 a month to Google. It's the editing software that I use for my videos. 2 cell phones to Verizon is $100 a month. I'm sure that there are plans that are less. We choose to stay with Verizon because it does have the best service in our area. We live in a pretty rural area. So, I mean, 3 miles down the road, there's no cell phone service at all. So that really is the best that, you know, offered in our area. And then, of course, our car insurance, we pay that monthly. I would like to get to a place once I get some of my debt, you know, my car payments taken care of, maybe to pay that 6 months or a year at a time, because you normally do get a pretty good discount for doing that. Then down here in these on the bottom, these are things that I'm going to put into a money envelope every month. And once the money is gone out of that envelope, there's nothing else to spend. Like, that's what you get. You make it last. Like, so these are my money envelopes. This one has crosses on it. And I made these, they're laminated. They're not like an envelope. They're just like cardstock. And they are laminated, so it's just an envelope like this that fits really nice in my wallet. And the dollar bills just sit down in there. So I have one for tithes, and that is 10% of my income that comes off of the top. This is my grocery budget or food budget. and I'll do $100 a week. And once that $100 is gone, you know, we're cleaning out the cabinet to make sure that that everything is out of the cabinet. We are not going into the next week or not going into another envelope to borrow from. I just have to make that $100 per week work. And actually, $100 a week is a pretty big budget for our house. That is allowing like Pizza Fridays, which we do pretty much every week. And I, as of today, am dieting, so sometimes that costs a little more. So I may actually adjust this in a few months. This is just the first month, and it will kind of get adjusted as things change and I find out what is working and what's not. My next envelope is gas, and I'm just going to do $10 a week. Like I said, I do work from home. Pretty much to church and back, or to my grandma's house, is pretty much my only running, except for one day a week I go to the grocery store. And this envelope is gifts. Gifts, well, I'm actually going to put in $50 a month. I'm sorry, $50 every other week. Now, that sounds like a lot, but we have 27 on Ricky's side of the family, and then on my side I have about 10 that we buy for, and this is going to be like whatever is left over. And these are small gifts, like the children might get a $10 gift for their birthday party, or sending out cards, which was one of my resolutions this year, to make sure that I send out like birthday cards and thinking of you cards or get well cards, because I think a personal card that you get in the mail means so much more than a message on Facebook or a tag on Instagram or something like that. So that may sound like a lot to you, but if you watch some of my videos during December, like I said, we buy for 27 at one house, and then we have a whole nother group at my family's house, so that is a lot of people. So anything extra will just be rolled into Christmas. YouTube. Now, I do not pay for YouTube. However, I do need to put money aside for things that I do on YouTube. Video things that I do, because that money, it has to come from somewhere. I'm not monetized, so anything that I do or projects that I do, anything like that does come out of my pocket. So this will be that. I plan on doing $40 a month, which roughly works out to be about $10 a week. And then car repairs will be $50 a month. And I actually said that wrong. Gifts is $50 per month, not every other week. Car repairs, and like right now, I just had my oil changed, but I do desperately need tires all the way around. And my car is a very odd size tire. It's a factory tire, but it's a weird size. They're kind of pricey. So I will be putting back $25 out of each paycheck into this envelope so I can take care of that. So, and if anyone is interested in envelopes like these, I have a ton of them and was planning on putting them on Etsy. But if you want to send me a a message, or send me a message on Instagram, I can send you photos of what I have, and we can work something out. I'm fair. But I do have a lot of really pretty papers and like themed papers, so my plan is to get those up on Etsy, but that has been my plan for a while and it hasn't happened yet. So, especially now that I'm kind of stuck in bed, I can't really walk, stand, sit, or lay very comfortably for very long periods of time, so I'm not getting a whole lot done at home. But that is that part of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull this sheet out because it'll give me a little bit more room to write. Oh, the other thing I was going to say is if you don't have a planner or don't want to put that kind of money into a planner or something like this, you don't have to. Absolutely, you do not have to. These budget printables I actually came across this blogger on Pinterest, and I happened to print this out in black and white. I honestly printed it last year, and you see how far I got using it. But it's called bloominghomestead.com. So she has free printables, a ton of free printables, like home binders and budget binders and things like that. And she also gives pages that you can like balance your checkbook in and things like that. I don't write checks, and I plan on doing more cash because I think it makes you more accountable. So this is like a weekly ledger. And if you've never looked at what you spend through the week, I do recommend writing down everything you spend. If you stop and get a pack of gum on the way to the store, write it down. If you realize, you know, how much you're spending every day, it will really bring things in for you. Like if you're stopping and getting a bagel and a coffee every day, you don't realize how much that adds up until you write it down and you see it in black and white. It is an eye-opener for sure. But so she gives you monthly ledger pages. I think there was some other things in here. Like I said, how to balance your checkbook. And there are other pages that I may not have printed when I printed this. But a lot of really great things. And I will try to remember to link her blog down below as well. But these are really, and you can print these in color. They're actually very beautiful. There's a lot of black and white, but I think these flowers were in are like a really pretty pink color. So you don't have to invest a lot of money in a fancy planner or notebook. I mean, you don't have to do that. And I mean, there are a lot of places that you can do like an app that would keep this for you. Dave Ramsey actually has an app. It is called Every Dollar, and it does all the calculations for you. And it's basically this page right here in a small app. So it's pretty cool. It's a free download. I think they do have like an extended version if you want to subscribe, but they do have a free version that does everything that you would have to do. So I don't know that I can link that below. I'm sure you can, but I don't know that I know how to do that. But it is called Every Dollar, and I know that it is in the Play Store for like, I have an Android device, but I've got my iPad here. I'm gonna see if it is in the iOS store. I'm sure it is. You would put in all of your planned expenses, what you're planning to get for income, and it gives you two spots. If you're paid weekly or if you have two incomes, you can add more spots, and then it gives you an option for charity. I'm not sure that church was on here. I might have added that. I went ahead and wiped out everything because this is something that I had set up a couple months ago and wasn't sticking to it. So now I'm going to redo it. But I have it on my phone, and I'm currently filming with my phone. That's why I had to install it on my iPad so I could show you guys. And in case anyone was wondering, I did not mention rent. The reason that I did not mention rent in my budget is because our rent is... it comes directly out of Ricky's paycheck. So he actually works at another business that our landlord owns. So it was easier for me to say, hey, take out half this paycheck and half the next paycheck. And then we weren't struggling to come up with our rent at that point. The rest of his paycheck pretty much goes to child support. There's really not anything left over. If there is anything left over, then he, of course, gives that to me to help out with bills. But that's pretty much where his paycheck goes before anyone asks why we don't pay rent or why he doesn't contribute. He does. I'm just not figuring into what I'm paying out because it doesn't actually come in on his paycheck. They take it out before he ever gets paid. And that works best for us. The other thing is our electric company, our account is essentially it's prepaid. just like a prepaid cell phone, we put so much money on our account, that's how much it is. When it runs out, the power will be shut off. So I just check my balance, and it works out to be between, depending on how hot or cold it is, I keep it pretty cold in here. In the summertime, it's 68. In the wintertime, it's 68. Like, I'm a hot-blooded person. I prefer to keep it a little bit chillier with a nice blanket. I don't like heat at all. So, our bill works out to be right about $108 a month. So I just split that up, and every 2 weeks I put about somewhere between $45 and $55 on our account, depending on what is currently left over. Our usage fluctuates from day to day, and I can log into that app and see that. And the reason we did it that way is when we moved into this apartment in June of 2017, we could either pay a $350 deposit or pay a $10 activation fee. So we put $60 down, and that was a $10 activation fee and $50 on our account to get our power started. So that helped us out a lot with like moving costs and things like that, because we also had to pay first month's rent, deposit, and everything on our apartment. So that really helped us out. And I kind of like it because I can look at our usage and go, oh my gosh, what in the world were we doing between this hour and this hour yesterday? We need to make sure we don't do that again because our power really spiked. So I really like that. You might check with your local power company to see if they have an app so you can monitor daily usage and really see what the patterns are on how you can cut back on your electric bill. I would imagine that most companies do something like that where you can see dailies, but it's been really useful to us. So just to address that before any questions come out. So anyways, so what you would enter on the Every Dollar app is you would enter your planned, what you plan on paying for each bill, what your planned income is, and then you'll come back and in the spent, you'll actually go in and write what you actually paid for those bills. So if you think your electric is going to be $200 and it was only $175, then it's going to come up in the differences over here in the remaining, and it'll say, it'll say, $25 difference. And that could be positive or negative if you underestimated or overestimated. And then you know what you have, so you can, in the next month, copy all of this information into the February or whatever the next month happens to be into that budget, and it'll move everything just like it is into that next one. So the app is really great if you are more of a digital person. Like I said, I have the app on my phone. It does kind of give me a reference point, but I am the type of person that really needs to see it on paper. So you've seen I had my bill pay checklist over here. So now I'm just going to fill in the budget. And so today's the 1st of January. I'm going to write all these things down. And then on, I would imagine the 1st of February. Let me see when that actually falls. 1st of February will be on a Friday. So yeah, actually that would be good. So the 1st of February, I will come back and calculate what we actually paid versus what we estimated and see what the differences are. And then I can adjust my February budget based on what changes I can look at from this. So my income, okay, my card filled up. I apologize. Deleted some stuff. We're ready to rock and roll. So what I will put up here in this top portion, that is income, I will put what I'm expecting to get, and then once I get paid, I will actually put this and then the difference. Now, my first paycheck this month is going to be a little bit short. I did take some time off during the holidays when I had family in town. My job, when workload is light, then they give us the option to take time off, but it is without pay. but I did opt to do that several times during the Christmas week, just trying to spend extra time with my family and make sure I had everything taken care of for the holidays. So this check will be a little on the light side. But what I am expecting is, I'm going to figure low, and I'm going to say 600. That is pretty low. Hopefully it's not that low. And then my second check, I'm going to guess on about 1,000. So that'll be 1,600 for the month. Now, I also got a letter from the U.S. Treasury that I had unclaimed property. So sometime this month, I am also expecting a check. It's not very much, but it's like $67.50 or something like that. I honestly, it said it was wages from a job, but I'm not sure how long it's been sitting out there or what job it was from. So that is something that everyone should check into. And I'm pretty sure it is, you can search unclaimed property, I believe, and you can search by state and by name. So that's something that everyone should do, because you might have closed out a bank account and had interest due to you and it's sitting in there, or maybe you forgot to cash a paycheck and the employer has so long and then they have to turn those funds over to the government. So it's worth checking into. So on from that, again, our rent, as I stated, is taken care of out of Ricky's paycheck. We do have 2 cell phones, and that's $100 every month. Electricity, like I said, I'm going to bank on about $54 a payday, so that'll work out to be $108 this month. We do not have gas. We do not pay water. It's actually included in our rent. We don't have cable, but we do have Netflix, and I think it's like $8.99, so I'm just going to put down an even $9. And then as far as car insurance is right here. That is, I'm going to put 98. I think it's actually 97 and change. Life and health insurance come out of my paycheck, so that's not an additional expense. I'm just going by net income up here, so I don't have to figure out all of those things. Makes it much easier if you figure by net instead of gross. So gas, like I said, $10 a week, which comes out to be $40. Maintenance was, let's see, car repairs is going to be $50 total for the month. Now this says gas and fuel. I'm guessing maybe if you had a diesel and a gasoline car. I don't know why it's listed twice. But obviously we live in a rural area, so there's no public transportation. But when it comes to cars, like I said, we do have 2 car payments. His is actually a varying payment, but it's right around $170 a month. And mine is $247.50, and that comes out to be $517.50. And then groceries here, I'm not going to do 2 separate ones for groceries and dining out. I'm just going to lump those together as our food budget. So I'm just going to put in the grocery line of $400 a month. And then there is a column here for children. As I stated, he does pay child support, but that, again, we just have it directly taken out of his paycheck. So much easier than having to send it in, and I think it actually gets to her quicker that way, too. We don't have any, like, taxes to worry about. Neither of us are on any prescriptions, so right now we don't have any medical. And like I said, we do have coverage. If it comes about to a bill, then I'll find a way to pay it, and I'll work that into our budget. We don't really do, like, dates and things. We're both more like homebodies, and that definitely saves on a lot. I'm not going to say we never do things, but if we're going to do something together, it's probably going to be like go to a park or something like that where it doesn't really cost anything. It's just the kind of people we are. My retirement also comes out of my paycheck, so I don't have to worry about that. My 401k goes right in. So let me bring my calculator up here. I usually use my phone, and obviously I am recording on my phone. Okay, we're there. So let's see where we're at. 1,600 is what I'm budgeting on income. And I'm going to take 100, 108 for electricity, $9 for Netflix, $157.50 for the cars, $50 for maintenance, $40 for gas, $98 for car insurance, $400 for groceries. And right now that leaves me, I guess you can't see that, but $277.50 this month. So down here at the bottom are my, where it says miscellaneous, that's where I put my cash envelopes. And again, those are the envelopes I'm going to carry in my wallet. So that will have anything that I need. I'll know which account to go into to get that. Tithes, that obviously goes to the church. And if it's 1,600, then I will be giving $160. YouTube, $10 a week. That puts it at $40. And $50 for gifts. I feel like I forgot something. Got YouTube, car repairs up there, gifts, gas, food. Nope, got it all. And so let me come back over to my calculator. And from there, I'm also going to take $160 for my tithes, $40 for YouTube. And like I said, that's not me paying for YouTube. That is me putting money into an account, so projects that I do here on my channel will come out of that. And then $50. So pretty close to zero. It shows that I have $27.50 left. So what I will do is I'm actually just going to make a note on my bill pay thing over here that I am budgeting a $27.50 surplus. And if my actual numbers work out to be that's a true number, that I actually have $27.50, then that will probably go on to his car payment, because he does have the lower car payment. It is nearly paid off. So I will just roll that into a payment on his car, just so we can get that paid off faster. And hopefully it's actually a little bit more than this. We'll have to see what my actual income is when every bill comes in, what those will be, which pretty much our bills are right on the money every month, with an exception of our electricity. That can vary a little bit, but it's pretty well right in that range, unless something emergency comes up. The other thing that Dave Ramsey tells you to do before you start any snowball, so normally if you were just starting out, that $27.50 would go into your emergency account. Now, this is not an account that, like a 401k or a Roth IRA or something like that. This is a liquid cash account, or a peanut butter jar under your bed, or a coffee can in the backyard, somewhere that you can get to immediately with no hassle. And you need $1,000 in that minimum before you start rolling any surplus income into your snowball. So other than that, you're just going to make minimum payments until you get $1,000 in the bank, in a savings account, or a coffee can in the yard, wherever. That is your first step, is to get that $1,000 in. And then you start rolling in any surplus that you have into your debt snowball. So if you are someone who absolutely does not have any money in your account, but you're someone that stops and gets coffee every day, or you smoke, when you think about, and I know that prices are different in other parts of the country, but I don't think you can get a pack of cigarettes now for under $5. Even a can of snuff, like people that dip, it's pretty close to $5. If you were to take that, what you pay in that every month, or that coffee and donut that you get on the way to work, whatever it is, $5 for every 5 working days a week would put $25 in, back. And you can take that $25 a week, and in a year, you will have $1,300. I know that I had a printable in here. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's $25 a week. Yeah. So $25 a week for 52 weeks would give you $1,300 in the end. So that's something to think about. If you're not to the point of being ready to work on a snowball, still work on getting your $1,000 in an account, or in a coffee jar, or a peanut butter jar, or a coffee can, or wherever it is that you keep your money, in a little glass piggy bank. Work on that first. So if it is cutting out something, I cut my Ipsy subscription. I cut my Birchbox subscription. I used to do Gwenny Bee, which is like a clothing delivery service. Great clothes, but it was really pricey. And I cut out all of those things. I actually had some other subscriptions. So when you cut those out and you think about how much you're saving every month, use whatever that was to put into the bank, or to put in your piggy bank, so that if there's a catastrophe, you're not stuck. You have a savings account to fall back on. So say you're like me and you currently need tires on your vehicle, and you wake up one morning to go to work and all 4 of your tires are flat. You need to get tires that day. Well, great. You have $1,000 in your emergency savings that will help you get that. And if you deplete that, if you have a part for your car, or something happens and you deplete your balance, where you bring it down, the first thing you work on is keep paying your minimum payments on everything else, but don't work on your snowball. Just work on getting that savings account back up to $1,000, and then once it's fully funded at $1,000, then start working on your snowball. And once you are in a comfortable place and you're working on your snowball, the next thing for you to save is, you need, I believe Dave recommends 3 to 6 months salary in your account. That way, if something were to happen and you were without a job, you could still survive. It would not throw you into a catastrophic situation. You'd still be able to eat. You'd still be able to pay your bills. So that would be your next step once you start working on your debt snowball, or pay your debt snowball off. That's where you would go next. So that is January 1, my budget. If you are interested in seeing other videos like this, or to see how my budget works out at the end of the month, I don't know where my camera cut off. If you're interested in seeing more videos like this, or seeing how my budget works out at the end of the month, please leave me a comment below. Like the video. That helps me know that people are watching and they're enjoying the content. If you have other ideas that you would like to see me do, leave that in the comments below, because I want to make content that I enjoy, but more content that is enjoyed by my 96 subscribers. So that helps me know what's going on. So leave me a comment. Follow me on Instagram because you can message me there. That's probably the easiest way to get a message to me. But like I said, if you're interested in something like this, I do have a ton of them, and I'm just trying to find the time. Once my back is feeling better, then hopefully I can take pictures and get all these listed. But if you're interested in something, shoot me a message on Instagram, and I can show you what I have, and maybe we can work something out that way and do like PayPal or something. But I do have a lot of videos. I actually have a room makeover that I'm doing, and I'm going to have some DIYs on really great budget decor, Dollar Tree and recycling things to redo a room in my apartment. And I really desperately need to declutter like everyone else at this time of year. So those videos will be coming soon. Thank you so much for watching, and happy 2019.